Meet Emily, an autistic student sharing her journey in the classroom, what helps, what challenges her, and the self regulation strategies that make a difference. When Emily was diagnosed with autism at 22 months old, specialists said she would never speak or attend a mainstream school. Not only did Emily graduate high school with honors, but she is now almost complete the second year of her graphic design program. After finishing, she plans to continue her education by attending an animation program.
Hi, my name is Emily Geigel Claremont. I live in Emburn, Ontario. It's near Ottawa, and I'm currently attending Centennial College online, and I'm doing a graphic design program. When I got to high school, one of the things that bothered me a lot was that the floor tiles look completely different from the ones at the elementary school. So walking around the hallway became a chore. I was focused on the design of the floor tiles. The other thing that was different was the smells. At the high school, there was a cafeteria near the grade 8 classes. I love French fries, so when I smelled them while I was in the middle of class, I got distracted from doing my work. I never got anything done in the class right before lunch. Also in high school, some of the students were really loud. Even during class, some of the students would talk while I was trying to do work, and this would bother me. I don't like missing information in class, so when I needed to go to the restroom, I wanted the teacher to stop teaching until I got back. They never wanted to, so I would often hold on and then not focus because I needed to pee, or I would go to the restroom and get really upset on my return when I realized I missed a bunch of notes. One of the other stresses that I had in class was trying to stop myself from stimming. I talked to myself out loud, but I couldn't do that in class. So sometimes I would focus so hard at not talking out loud that I didn't know what was going on in class. When I needed a break, my EA would ask me if I needed a walk. Sometimes just walking around the hallway would calm me down, but sometimes I was worried that I would miss some important things in class. When I was younger, I found it difficult to recognize certain emotions. To help me with this, my mother and I would stand in front of the mirror and make all kinds of faces to practice naming our emotions. Seeing myself in the mirror helped me recognize other people's emotions as well as my own. Today, I'm very good at recognizing emotions. Even more, I feel people's emotions. For example, when I heard a baby crying at the store, I felt bad for both the baby and the mother. I could feel the sadness of the baby, and I could also feel the mother, who was feeling exhausted and frustrated. All these emotions made me feel overwhelmed, so I needed to leave the store. That's also why I enjoy being alone, so that I don't feel so many emotions. To calm down, I enjoy being in my room reading a book with my plush animals. Even though I am almost 20 years old, I still like being with them. They are calming for me. I can hold them, especially when I'm sleeping. The other thing I do every night to help myself calm down before bed is to take a bath. I sometimes put in salt bath. I sometimes put in bath salts, and that helps too. It's very relaxing, and the hot water has a soothing effect on me. My parents have always given me baths when I was a baby and when I was young, so I continue doing it as an adult too. So I learned that trick from my parents. When I was in elementary school, I had tantrums many times when I was asked to write something, to participate in gym classes, or to get dressed for recess. I cried a lot in school. My favorite accommodations that always gave me good results are extra time to finish a task, and the other is having someone write my answers for me since I hated writing so much. When I was older, I learned to use a dictation program called Read and Write. That helped me a lot, and I still use it now in college. It is much faster than having to type out my answers because I'm not a fast typer. But I do speak clearly, and the program understands my words and can type them for me. When I was younger, I also needed positive reinforcement to do a task. For example, if I was working nicely, my EA would put a star or a check mark on a paper. If I had 10 stars, for example, I could choose a reward. This was great for me. I would often choose my iPad or reading a book as a reward. I would have liked to have a separate room to do certain tasks since noise bothers me a lot. This was more possible in high school, but I really couldn't go to another room when I was in elementary school. When I was in elementary school, I would sometimes have huge meltdowns if I didn't understand the topic or if I was overwhelmed. Sometimes teachers thought I was having a temper tantrum and told me off for reacting that way. What I would have needed was a way to communicate that I didn't understand or that I was starting to get upset. I had a difficult time communicating what I needed, so maybe having a little post it note or an image I could have shown the teacher or put on my desk to tell her I didn't understand might have helped me, but the teachers never did that.